Speaking English fluently is possible, and maybe not as hard as you think. By the end of this video, you'll have many new tricks to training your brain to speak fluently. So what does it mean to speak fluently? My definition is when you feel like you can speak English clearly and confidently and feel as free as if you are speaking your native language. When there's no difference in how you feel communicating between your mother tongue and English. Doesn't that sound amazing? Let's make it happen. There really is no substitution for practice and repetition. So practice and repetition is everything when it comes to speaking English fluently. The only difference between you and a native speaker is simply repetition and practice. Native speakers have been speaking English for many more years than you have. Okay, so that's what makes them so good at it. So what do you have to do? Not compare yourself to them, but compare yourself to you and say, okay, am I doing better than I was a year ago? Am I doing better than I was 3 months ago? Okay, if not, then we need to get more repetition and practice in place. Increase how much you speak English daily. Okay, expand the topics that you're speaking about. Okay, reach outside of your comfort zone when it comes to what you're speaking about and who you're speaking to. Okay, even if you're just increasing that by 1%, that 1% every day is going to get you great results. Go ahead and do things with other English speakers that you enjoy. Okay, I really encourage people to, get outside of themselves. Go do something that you enjoy. So say you like to hike, or you like to, you are very creative and you like doing art, or you like playing a certain sport. Go and do that thing with other people who enjoy that as well. As you increase this little daily practice, just even by a little bit, that small daily habit will compound over time and lead to incredible results. Next, I want you to train your brain to be okay with making mistakes. Okay, as you're practicing more, you have to be okay with making mistakes. And this comes through doing very deliberate thought practice. Okay, direct the brain where you want it to go. So keep the meaning of speaking English light and fun. Okay, laugh at yourself instead of beating yourself up when you're making mistakes. Okay, you're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are the only way to get to your end goal. Okay, this is just a universal truth again across all areas of life. Anyone who has had a success at something has gone through many, many rounds of failure. They've learned how to make mistakes and keep moving forward. I love the idea of fail fast. Okay, just keep making mistakes as fast as you can, learn from them, try again, and eventually you're gonna get it right. My favorite example to learn from is just kids. Kids learning language, there's just no fear of making mistakes. They're okay to just throw out whatever they want to say, and yeah, they'll make a mistake and they'll get corrected and they're totally fine with that. Okay? But eventually we get to a point where we start then caring a lot about what other people think. And we care too much about, if I make this mistake, they're going to think this negative thing about me. Okay? So we have to really overcome that fear and say, it's okay to make mistakes. I'm going to get back up, I'm going to try again, and I'm going to learn each and every time. Okay, the next strategy is read out loud every day with deliberate practice. Reading out loud gives you combinations of vocabulary words and sentences and phrases that are outside of your comfort zone. It's outside of what you usually would probably say in conversation. It expands that vocabulary. So practice reading passages from other speakers. Practice just reading whatever you want. It really doesn't matter what you're reading, but as you read it out loud and you practice and repeat and repeat and repeat, even if it's just the same paragraph over and over and over again, that's going to train your mouth to move in this new way. It's going to give you a very deliberate practice. So similar to playing the piano, if someone's learning to play the piano, they don't jump right into playing their own music. Okay? They play other people's music, and they play it over and over and over again. So my oldest son plays the piano. Well, two of my sons play the piano, but when I hear him play, he is practicing this same song for sometimes weeks at a time. So he's just playing it over and over and over again, he's training his fingers to flow from one note to the next. Okay, that's what I'm wanting you to do in your read aloud practice. You're training your mouth to move from one word to the next fluently. Okay, so as you do that and you practice other people's words, you're going to be better at creating your own words and composing your own music, if you will, through your own words that way. My next tip is to be patient. This takes time. Learning and improving your spoken English and becoming fluent in American English is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, so put systems into place and trust that as you stay consistent with those systems or those actions, you'll actually reach your goal. Occasionally I'll see students come in and they'll hit it hard for, a month, but then they will fade out. They'll get exhausted and, they can't keep up this practice of doing 2 hours a day. Okay, and then they stop. What I prefer to see, and what I see a lot with my other students, is just that slow, steady, consistent effort. They're just putting it into their daily routine and they are doing it consistently. Those are the ones that win out and end up putting practices into the place that they will use for a lifetime. So they're lifetime learners, they're lifelong learners, and they just have these systems and routines that keep them moving forward. I love the story of the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise and the hare is the turtle who just slow and steady wins the race, right? Instead of the rabbit or the hare that is running so fast and then he has to take a nap and then he gets distracted and things like that. Be more of a tortoise. Be more of that slow and steady. So if you try to run faster than you have strength, you'll quit. But put manageable steps into your life that you can do consistently over time, and you will reach your goal. To become fluent in English is really not complicated. The hard part is being consistent. Those who succeed are those who put those simple steps into action and do them over and over and over again, day after day after day. As you do, you'll achieve the fluency you want and need in your life. Time will pass whether you take the steps now or not. But if you are consistent, over time you'll find yourself enjoying the rewards of fluent American English. Within my program, Pronunciation Pro, I have been working with students from all over the world, and I see a variety of different personalities and people who are more of the tortoise, more of the hare. And it's really interesting because there are definitely strategies that I see that win out long run. And I've talked about them a little bit already, but it's interesting because I have seen some of my students who, they have been working on their English pronunciation sometimes for years within my program. And this is because they just like the regular routine. They like coming to study group. They like just slow and steady progress. They're not in it for, to learn in 3 months. They just want to just slowly build one step at a time. And that is a great way to do it as well. All ways are great. But I do see that as you implement that into your daily routine, that fluency is absolutely going to come. It is a guaranteed if you put that system into your just daily routine. So if you want to learn more about how to quickly improve your American English pronunciation, okay, go ahead and check out my 3 easy tips video.